Welcome to today's webinar where Dr. Kushal Ahmed will discuss the 3F framework for remote Agile SaaS implementation. Before we start, I'd like to share a few things to consider during the webinar so that you can get the most out of it. First, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand by clicking on the top right-hand corner of your screen or typing in the chat. If the questions are related to technical issues, we will try to answer those immediately. All other questions related to the webinar will be answered at the end of Kushal's presentation. Second, there will be a series of polls throughout the presentation. They're meant to give Dr. Kushal a better understanding of what to focus on as we progress through the webinar. So please take part. Third, please stay to the end of the webinar. We're going to have a little quiz at the end so that the person with the highest score and the shortest time to answer wins a prize from us. See? We're already putting at least one of the F's to good use, so you don't want to miss that. Great. So Dr. Kushal lives in Brisbane, Australia with his wife and 5-year-old daughter and has been living there since 2011. He is an ICT professional with 13 plus years of experience in offering sales engineering, IT consultancy, business analysis, agile project management, solution architecting and development, with specialized knowledge in systems analysis and design, where he earned his PhD. He's delivered over 25 medium to large scale software solutions for more than 30 customers worldwide. So if there's anyone who can talk about this topic, it will be Dr. Kushal. Dr. Kushal Ahmed.
Thanks, Tolu, for the nice introduction. Greetings, everyone. Really appreciate that you are attending this live session today, or you may be viewing this recorded video presentation by PriceFX. Either way, this presentation will focus on the delivery of pricing solution with 3 key components, essentially, by comparative analysis. The first component is going to be SaaS solution in the context of pricing solution. The second component is going to be the delivery method, Agile methodology. And the third component is going to be the communication mechanism, even when we are working from home, working remotely. As a bit of introduction to myself, again a bit, my name is Kushal Ahmed. I have specialized knowledge on systems analysis and design. I have more than 13 years of experience in IT industry for consultancy, agile project management, solution architecting, and development. The key question here today, why are we here? So why are you attending this webinar? We try to reach out to the professionals who might need a pricing solution. And when they do need a pricing solution, usually they have some questions in their mind. In most cases, the first question that comes up in their mind is, what type of pricing solution I should go for? Is it going to be a desktop application, some kind of on-premise solution, or an online or cloud-based solution? The second question that usually comes up is, how quickly can I get this solution up and running? And how would I know that I'm going to get the right pricing solution, the solution that I want? And given the current circumstances in the world, the most important question probably is, how can I start a pricing project with most people working from home? So in this webinar, we'll try to address all these questions. Before proceeding further, we'd like to conduct a quick survey on the area of professionals that we have got today. Could you please participate in this first 4 out of 4 polls we're going to have today? The question that we'd like to get answer to is, which professional area are you from? So you could be from pricing professional, or project manager, or manager in general, maybe both, or something else. I'd like to get help from Tolu to run this poll. Tolu, over to you.
Right. So if you can see in the chat, I've sent a link to the first poll. If you can just copy and paste that and answer the questions, that would be helpful. So we'll give that about 30 seconds or so. Okay, so we'll go back to the presentation.
Most likely you are facing some technical difficulties for this poll. How about, we just assume that the professionals are either from pricing professional or, project manager or manager in general, and we proceed. Okay, so assuming that, the professionals who might need a pricing solution and who might be a manager or who might be able to reach out to the managers, and we have some takeaways for them. The first takeaway is, they will be able to help the executive leaders or higher level managers to make a choice on the type of pricing solution for their organization. The second takeaway for them would be, how to get support, as well as the kind of support to expect in an implementation process of a pricing solution. The third one is going to be, how to understand, explain, and overcome unforeseen circumstances and obstacles to deliver promised functionality. The key takeaway for the pricing professionals in general would be to create a streamlined implementation process, even working from remotely. The second one is going to be using Agile methodology designed for collaborating with several stakeholders. The third one is going to be, again, the common one essentially for all, applying processes to overcome unforeseen circumstances and obstacles to deliver promised functionality. Let me present the agenda of this webinar. As you can see, the highlighted portions are going to be the focus of this webinar. First, we will talk about on-premise solution versus SaaS solution. This is going to be a comparative analysis. That's the first component of this webinar. The second one is going to be a comparative analysis for a traditional method, waterfall versus agile method. The third one is going to be the communication mechanism comparison, on-site versus remote. While we go through these three components, we will keep developing our PriceFX 3F framework and present it later. 3F stands for fast, friendly, and flexible. And like always, we will start with a quick introduction to PriceFX, and at the end, we will have a session for QA and also quiz. Right. So let's begin with talking about who PriceFX is. This is the picture we took this year, January, from our all hands meeting. It was held in Prague, Czech Republic. It was just before COVID situation. And as you can see, there is no social distancing at the moment, but you can trust us. We have our social distancing rules in place in all of our offices. Moving forward, we are founded in 2011. At the moment, we have now almost 400 employees, and we have offices all around the world. And we are a professional team, and we have so far delivered 300 plus successful projects with more than 100 customers. And we can claim customers are so happy that they keep expanding their solutions with us. They keep expanding their pricing requirement with our modules, and that's why our customer retention rate is pretty high. And as you might have already noticed that PriceFX is the global leader in cloud-based pricing solutions, especially for price optimization from machine learning and artificial intelligence perspective. And we are growing faster than any other pricing solutions provider. Our solution fits for both B2B and B2C, and it is an industry agnostic solution. It works for any industry of any size. We value three key words, as you have already noticed: fast, flexible, and friendly. Our solution is going to give you shortest time to value. Our implementation is very flexible and it's going to help you to adapt to your future needs. And if you do need any integration with your existing systems, ERP or CRM or e-commerce or similar, so it's going to be integrated smoothly. And the commercial model is very friendly. Basically, there is no lock-in contract, monthly subscription, unlimited users, and module-based license. We do have true passion for pricing, and with that passion, as you can see, we have achieved a lot of awards. From 2019, we are the golden partner of SAP, and from 2020, we are one of the 7 endorsed applications by SAP in the area of optimized pricing solution. And you'll be happy to know that, 4 things that we are one of the 30 artificial intelligence companies to watch in 2020. All right, enough talking about the PriceFX. So let's start the fun part here. In next 30 to 40 minutes, we'll first cover the first comparative analysis on the solution type on-premise versus SaaS solution in the context of pricing solution. Then we'll have this analysis on delivery perspective on 2 major methods, traditional, that is waterfall versus agile, Scrum methodology. And third, we're going to go through the concepts for communications on-site and remote. And while we develop these concepts and have comparative analysis, we will keep developing our PriceFX 3F framework and present it at the end. First thing first, so on-premise versus SaaS solution. So in this part, again, we will discuss on both concepts, on-premise and SaaS solution, and we will talk about the criteria to make a choice in the context of pricing solution. As you might have already appreciated, I guess, technology has got huge impact on almost every sector in our life. You name it, you will get an example there. That could include, health, education, communication, productivity, and so on and so forth. And interesting part is, the expectation on technology is increasing as well. So we are demanding more and more. We demand faster, more flexible, and friendlier technology. I'm sure you have seen this before, but no one would even try it for sending an email, would they? That's Winston Churchill. Despite the fact that he had a number of setbacks early in his career as military officer and politician, he persevered and is well known for his success during his one of the most challenging times in recent history. When he says to improve is to change, to be perfect is to change often, I could put this idea in the context of technology to be used for pricing solution. Making constant improvements in pricing is the key to success. Everyone would agree that. And a pricing solution that can embrace the latest technologies, latest strategies for pricing would be the desired solution. And everyone knows change is obvious, but it sometimes could be very unexpected. World is currently going through difficult times for COVID-19. You already know that. And we are seeing the impacts in every sector. If you look at the impact factor here, you'd see some industries got severely impacted. Travel and transportation, manufacturing, and retail, they got severely impacted. And few others like high tech, health, and few others got major impact for COVID-19. Nobody was expecting this situation. We simply didn't know how to handle it. Like most of us doing at the moment, we're working from home. Working from home might be the new normal for the foreseeable future. So now bringing the original context back, keeping the mind that we are working from home and this is going to be new normal in foreseeable future. If an organization looks for a new software solution, let's say it's a pricing solution, then what should be the choice out of the two options? Which solution works better even in extreme situation, emergency situation like COVID-19? Well, the answer actually is pretty obvious, but let's dig a little bit more one by one. For on-premise solution, as you can see, this is the traditional model of software acquisition. And in this model, you have your computers and servers installed within your organization, within your private space, and then use it within your on-premise or organization. The key points to be noted is you are going to pay for full setup and application implementation. And you're going to have investment for hardware, and it's going to cost you for the licenses. And prior to 2005, this has been the common practice for delivering software to individuals and also organizations. Whereas the SaaS solution is a modern format. The acquisition of software as a service SaaS solution is growing rapidly. And in this format, the solution is hosted in a cloud servers that is accessible through internet from your laptop, computer, or smart devices, usually through web browsers. The key points to be noted here is you are going to pay what you use, and it is going to be based on subscription model. So you are not going to have any mandated hardware investment. Usually the licenses fees are included in the subscription. And it is going to be quickly adaptable to new technologies because the vendors are going to be able to update whatever technologies they need to update on the servers, whether it's this OS upgrade or it's going to be the upgrade for the software itself. And in this format, the solution is going to be a sustainable solution, and it's going to work even in emergency situation like pandemic situation. According to the research of Juniper, from 2018, 59% of enterprise solutions are on SaaS solution. And today is 2020, and the percentage is going to increase. That's the most likely case. At this point of time, we'd like to conduct another poll. And Tolu, can we conduct it now, or we should skip it?
So yes, we'll try the second poll now. If everyone can check in the chats and go to that link, you should be able to have access to the poll and we'll be able to see the results.
Our understanding is that you might have an experience before for using a software for pricing. It could be an Excel, very informal way of doing the pricing activities, and it could be on-premise private cloud solution, or it could be like you to select one.
We'll give it a little bit more time. What are the results, Kushal?
What I can see, 0% for all. I'm not sure if anyone participated, or maybe I got other percentage as 100%. Basically, we are assuming you are probably using some other format of pricing solution. We'll move forward. True?
Yes.
All right, this is just for a bit of fun. So there might be some misconceptions, and some few may assume that the SaaS solutions they don't need any laptop in their working place, but that's not true. So you are going to use the software through your computer by using your web browser and with the help of the internet, but it's not going to make your laptop any lighter. Okay, at this point of time, we're going to perform first comparative analysis for on-premise versus SaaS solution, and based on some criteria. The first criteria I would talk about is the cost. So as you can already appreciate, for on-premise solution, you're going to have upfront investment. For SaaS solution, you're going to have pay as you go. For customization, both solutions are going to offer you customized solution. The problem would be for on-premise is going to be confined because it is within a local environment. For SaaS solution, it's going to be a flexible, customized solution. For hardware investment, very easy. For on-premise, it's going to have upfront investment. For SaaS solution, you are not going to have any upfront investment for hardware. For security, this is one of the major concerns for all organizations. For on-premise solution, this is not accessible at all remotely because it is within the private space. And we can achieve the same for SaaS solution by having authentication and authorization in place. For accessibility, as you can appreciate already, for on-premise solution, it's going to have very limited access, but for SaaS solution through internet, you are going to access it anytime from anywhere. And for integration with your existing systems for on-premise, you are going to be able to integrate with on-premise solution, internal applications only. For SaaS solution, you can integrate with both internal and external applications. For control, again, another important part. So you are going to have full control on system and data for on-premise because it is within a private space. For SaaS solution, again, we will be able to achieve the same by proper authentication and authorization in place. Maintenance, this is one of the major factors an organization should look for. In many cases, they see that after getting a software solution, now they have to maintain it and what's the cost around it. For on-premise solution, it's going to take a long time to perform an upgrade operation, whether it's on the server or any hardware or any OS or the software solution itself, and it's going to cost you high. For SaaS solution, the vendor is going to maintain it. They're going to upgrade the hardware if needed. They're going to upgrade the infrastructure if they have to. And it's going to be faster and cheaper. And the solution itself is going to be maintained by them because they will make sure you are going to get the latest version of the software you're using. So after this comparison, we have a feeling, for pricing solution, in most cases, SaaS solution is going to have better impact. And with this comparative analysis, we are actually addressing the first question that we presented in the beginning of the webinar. The question was, what type of pricing solution is suitable for price effects 3F approach? We love SaaS solution, and we are not going to go for on-premise solution at all, because it's going to have faster time to value for the organization. We're moving to the second comparative analysis from delivery perspective. We're going to talk about the delivery methods, waterfall versus agile. Let's start with an analogy. I'm sure you have seen this picture many times. One of the most difficult parts of developing a software solution is getting the message or requirements conveyed across the team and within the team members. In many occasions, we say something, but we meant something else. And at the receiver end, it's even more difficult. The understanding at the receiver end might have huge difference from the original requirements. As these pictures depict, on the upper left corner, the customer explained the requirements like it, but the project leader understood differently. This deviation of understanding continues across the team. That's the usual case. I experienced this issue a lot, and in one of my past experiences, a customer was explaining their pricing requirements, and initially we thought that they needed a price list builder. But when we had more collaboration, more interaction, and they sent their data, their business processes, and then we realized that they needed an optimization solution based on machine learning or artificial intelligence. Obviously, we told them that we can do that, but the message here is without a collaborative approach, where all stakeholders perform check and balance operations, it's high likely that an undesired software solution will be delivered. Therefore, the process of delivering a software solution does matter a lot. Now, bringing back the original debate, waterfall versus agile, the picture says it all. Essentially, waterfall is a sequential process without check and balance, whereas agile is an iterative process with collaboration, check and balance. Let's dig a little more. For waterfall, again, this is a traditional approach, and it is run on one full cycle with step-by-step activities. It starts with requirements analysis, and then the design of the software architecture, and then the implementation is done. And once the implementation is done, then we get the verification. And then once the verification is done, whatever product you got, you go into maintenance. And the key points here to be noted here is that the requirements are fixed, and you are going to get a complete product in one iteration, whether it's good or not. Good luck with that. And there is no feedback or collaboration during the development process. As a historical check, a traditional approach like waterfall was first conceptualized by Herbert Bennington in 1956, and it's a pretty old one, as you can see. In contrast, Agile or Scrum is more modern approach, where the development is done in small iterations. We call them sprints. In each sprint, you are going to do analysis, design, development, test, and review. Basically, all the things you do for waterfall, you are going to perform all those activities in one sprint, and you get a smaller part of the software solution out, and you do it repeatedly. And in this way, after a few sprints, you are going to get the whole solution. The key points to look at here, the requirements get more and more clarification as we proceed, and they tend to evolve. And Agile or Scrum adopts a mechanism to address the requirements evolution throughout the delivery process. Agile also incorporates regular feedback and collaboration within a sprint so that the stakeholders are well informed of the current status of the software solution throughout the whole process. This Agile was originally developed in 2001, and 17 developers in 2001 met at a resort in Snowbird, somewhere at Utah, and developed the Agile Manifesto. At their meeting, they tried to uncover better ways of delivering and developing software. They essentially developed 4 key values for Agile. The first key value is individuals and interactions are more important over processes and tools. The second one is working software is more crucial over comprehensive documentation. The third one is customer collaboration is preferred over contract negotiation. The fourth one is, probably the most important one, responding to change is more practical and important over following a plan. While each of the points in color is important, we put more value on the left-hand side than the right-hand side. Let's try to do a little bit more analysis, comparative analysis on the characteristics, on some factors that might be constant or variable. So when we do this comparative analysis, we talk about 4 different factors: features, quality, time, and cost. For traditional approach like waterfall, the features are constant. It is given and you have to deliver it. And to deliver it, the time and cost might not be constant. It could be variable. It might take more time. It might cost you more. While the quality lies in the middle, it actually means that you might have to compromise the quality of the software solution you are getting out of this waterfall approach. In contrast, for Agile methodology, 3 factors, time, cost, and quality, are constant. And the features, this is the only one you are going to have variable. Basically, your budget is fixed and you have got your time frame and you have defined the quality. You are going to meet all of them. The only adjustment you might need to do is adjust the requirements, and that is the normal process. While you are doing the iterations, you are going to have requirements evaluation, and you're going to have a definitive definition of the software you are going to get. And that's the desirable outcome of a delivery process of a software solution. So at this point of time, if you have any experience, we'd like to conduct another poll that is about the delivery method that you have experience with. Which delivery method do you have experience with? Is it waterfall, agile, Kingdom, or other? Tolu, do you want to do it? Is it still doable, or you can just skip it?
Well, it seems to be working for most people, so I will send another link there. You can try.
Okay, sure. Could you please participate? Okay, we've got the result. Actually, what we have got is everyone is experienced with waterfall, 100% waterfall selection. Interesting, right? Okay, so now that we have some ideas about waterfall and agile, but let's do a comparative analysis based on some criteria. The first criteria we'll talk about is the approach. As we can already understand that for waterfall it's going to be sequential life cycle. For agile or Scrum methodology, it's going to be incremental development or iterations. From method perspective, waterfall is structured. It's not going to change it. For agile, it is adaptive. For validation, you are going to perform the steps one by one, analysis, then design, then implementation, and then verification, and then maintenance. So you are going to do or perform the validation only after you are done with full development. For agile, you are going to have this validation step after each sprint or each iteration. For changeability, for waterfall, you have no way to make any changes after we have started the design and the development. Whereas agile or scrum is going to accommodate changes. For collaboration, for waterfall, we have very limited scope for collaboration, whereas agile, it makes sure all the team members for a project meet regularly and have intense collaboration throughout the development process. For feedback, again, you're going to get the feedback whether you like the product or not. You're going to get feedback after full development. For agile or scrum, the feedback is taken again within the sprint so that the feedback can be fed into the next sprint. For quality, very important measure, the quality is going to be compromised for waterfall, for the structure of the waterfall itself, because it doesn't allow you to have collaboration, doesn't allow you to have validation within the development, doesn't allow you to have get feedback while you are doing the development. So the quality is going to be compromised. That's the most likely case. While in agile, once you define your quality measure, is going to be maintained. And the most important factor, cost and time, for waterfall, you will realize that it's not going to be fixed. For agile, the cost and time will be fixed. The only variable factor, as I can probably can remember, is the feature. All other three, cost, time, and quality, are fixed. So far, with this analysis, we have addressed actually two questions. For the first analysis, we have addressed what type of pricing solution is suitable. We talked about it and we love SaaS solution. The other question we have addressed so far is, how would I get the delivery of my required pricing solution? That was the second question we presented in the beginning of our webinar. And we love Agile and Scrum methodology because it is a friendly, collaborative approach. We're moving into the next comparative analysis for communication mechanisms on-site versus remote. From 2020, these years, we have got to adapt to the current situation and get ready for the future. We basically either adapt or fall apart from the stream. Dr. Max McKeon, so he's a strategist, innovator, speaker, coach. So when he says, from adaptability perspective, adaptability is about the powerful difference between adapting to cope and adapting to win. So definitely, not only we want to cope, we also want to win. So from that perspective, we'd like to talk about this on-site and remote communication, because the current situation is different, and this is going to be the normal, hopefully, in the near future. For on-site communications, so pretty easy to understand. It's very natural. It happens in the same place, and it's very easy to keep everyone in the same place, and things can be done within the place because you are meeting in person. And basically, it's the best way of communication. And when you meet in person with the teams, basically, it can remove the roadblocks you might have. But the problem is, it's not always practical, not even in emergencies. In most cases, the projects are involving many people around the world, not only within one city. It could be multiple cities, it could be multiple countries or multiple regions. That's why having on-site communications is not practical at all. For remote communication, well, the communication is done from virtual distance. Everyone can appreciate that now, hopefully. And for remote communications, we might have three different types of distances. One kind is physical distance because of the place and time. Place could be different, time zone could be different. And another kind of distance is an operational distance. This could be based on the size of the company, bandwidth, and the skills of the team members. Another type, the last type, which is very important type, affinity distance. And when we meet together, on site, what we achieve is, we achieve values, we trust each other, we create dependency on each other. This affinity distance is increased when we do remote communication. So the best way to drive a team performance is to focus on reducing this affinity distance. And PriceFX has the ability to attract, hire, and motivate the best people regardless of the selection, regardless of the location of the employee. And PriceFX measures the impact of virtual distance in different ways on performance, leadership, morale, job satisfaction, innovation, and it takes necessary steps to reduce virtual distance, especially the affinity distance. At this point of time, I'd like to know, the percentage of remote workers in your organization. A rough guess will work. This is going to be the last poll. And if you can choose one, would like have some idea, what's the percentage of remote workers in your organization at the moment? Tolu, over to you.
And everyone, I've already sent the link to that particular poll, so if you can go ahead and respond. Thank you. We'll give it just a little bit more time.
Okay. I think we're done. Tolu.
Perfect. Over to you then, Kushal.
Great. Yeah, the result is not unexpected, and I see that more than 75% workers are working. That's the answer given by 50% participants, and other 50% choose the second option, 25% to 50%. Great. Right, resuming. So the poll result does tell us, we must embrace the culture of remote work and adjust our tools and processes accordingly. So now let's do our final comparative analysis for on-site versus remote communication. The first criteria is an approach. On-site is direct communication, remote for virtual communication. Everyone knows that the team productivity is going to be relatively higher for on-site communication. For remote, it's going to be relatively lower. For team diversity, it's going to be less diversified. For practical reasons, for remote, it's going to be high diversified. For individual productivity, it's probably a little bit more interesting. For individual productivity, if you go to on-site meetings, stuff, and then you're going to be a little bit less productive. Whereas if you are working remotely, it's going to be high productive. For cooperation, it's relatively easier to get cooperated, relatively higher for on-site. For remote, it's going to be relatively lower. For work-life balance, there might be some controversy here. So for work-life balance, so for on-site, it's going to be relatively lower, but depending on how you have planned your day when you're working from home, whether you're keeping enough time for your breaks, lunch, or your exercises and family time, if you can plan it properly, you're going to be enjoy your life there in working from home. So I would guess work-life balance is better when working from home. For participation, again, it is For on-site, it's going to be very rigid, very limited participation. For remote, it's going to be flexible and unlimited participation. Anyone can join from anywhere. For practicality, well, on-site would love it, but it's not just practical. It's ideal, but it's not practical. For remote, well, not ideal, I'd say, but it's practical. So we have a mixed feeling for both these categories, on-site or remote, and that's why we actually choose both. So far, we have answered first two questions, and for this analysis, on-site versus remote communication, we actually answered the last question that we presented in the beginning. How would I rely on project delivery even when working from home? So basically, we love both on-site and remote. Basically, this is the flexible format, and we always need to enable, remote communication. And if we can do on-site meetings, we'll be doing that as well. And that's why we take a hybrid approach. And in hybrid communication approach, is basically whenever it's possible, we go on-site, but we always enable remote communication so that every other team members, whether it is within our organization or other organizations, and they can join the meetings and conferences, and we'll have frequent touch points and video conferences, of course, and we'll have team building activities, some rituals, and so that we can reduce the virtual distance, especially the most important one, the affinity distance. So we need to build trust on each other. We need to reduce the distance in that way, so that we can feel that we're working together. The key points is yes, it's going to be team members who will be involved all over the world. It's not going to be confined within one region, and this hybrid communication mechanism is going to be functional even in an emergency like pandemic COVID-19. So after this three comparison, basically we choose the ones from each of these criteria, so components, SaaS solution, and Agile, Scrum, and hybrid communication, and develop our price effects. And we just start just presenting the questions we just answered. And basically for price effects 3F framework, we choose the ones that we believe that will work for us and the organizations. For solution types, we choose SaaS solution, which is going to provide you faster time to value. For delivery perspective, we are going to adapt to an Agile, and we are using Adapt Scrum methodology, which is actually friendly, collaborative approach, which is going to make sure that it's going to give you optimized solution. And for communication mechanism, so we take hybrid approach. We go on site if possible, but we always enable remote communication regardless. And this is the flexible communication for all the remote workers all over the world. So in summary, with our price effects 3F framework, 3F, fast, friendly, and flexible, we make sure we have agile, smooth delivery of SaaS solution. For fast part, what we really mean, you can have your SaaS solution. We are the SaaS provider, which can give you shortest time to value for the organization. It's going to have less cost for you, and you're going to get customized solution, and the access you are going to get is going to be secured. For friendly, what we really mean here. So we follow Agile or Scrum delivery methodology. In this methodology, you're going to have regular value alignment, and you're going to get optimized product, because you're going to get a lot of feedback and collaboration, and our team is going to be customer focusing. For flexible part, so we do take hybrid communication approach, where we always do remote communications, and if possible on-site communication. We'll have video conferencing, and we'll make sure we'll have reduced affinity distance by having some rituals or touch points, or even spending some happy hours online. So wrapping up the webinar at the moment for the presentation part. So what we have done, we have performed a comparative analysis on three components. First one was comparison between on-premise solution versus SaaS solution, and we choose SaaS solution because this is going to give you customized solution faster and cheaper for you. For delivery perspective, we compared waterfall versus agile, and we go for agile and Scrum methodology, which is going to give you optimized solution with collaboration and feedback. And for communication mechanism, we go for both. We take hybrid communication mechanism, where remote communication is always enabled, and which make our price effects 3F framework, which makes sure you are going to get agile, smooth SaaS solution delivery with confidence. That's the end of the presentation part, and now is the best time to have QA session or quiz. So let's talk. Tolu, over to you.
So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to type them in the Q&A section or in the chats. But I did get some questions ahead of time from some of the people who attended the webinar or plan on attending the webinar. So we can go through those first. The first one being, what are the features of your pricing solution?
Okay, for pricing solution, let me bring up the slide that will help you to understand what it is. Okay, so as you can see, it's coming slowly. We have solution from 3 different perspectives: insight, manage, and realize. From insight perspective, we have few modules. One of the modules is price analyzer. Basically, this is analytical tool, and it's going to help you to get, increase the transparency for your organization. It's going to give you the idea which product is working well, which customer is working well, which is not working well, and what are the actions you might need to take. You are going to have comparative analysis there. There will be price waterfall, and many different types of reports will be available for you to judge and then make decisions for your future pricing strategy. For optimization, price optimizer helps you to find out, optimize decision, optimize pricing, optimize, margin. Basically, it can help you to find out, right segmentation within your business, and then for each segmentation, it can generate pricing guidance, and also it can help you to optimize the parameters that you might have in a price waterfall. You might want to have a specific % of margin. So what should be the price of a product, and the price optimizer is going to help you what should be the price of the product, or what should be the discount of a product. The price optimizer is going to help you to find that as well. Price optimizer is a full suite solution for us, so for giving you optimized solution for your price waterfall. Basically, is starting from building the price list, going towards and getting the discounts, and then handling rebates, let's say, or any other operations like quotations or promotions. Those all will be handled and optimized by price optimizer. From management perspective, you have got 2 modules: price builder and promotion manager. Price builder helps you to set up the pricing strategies and build up your price list, whether it's a local one, global one, or if there is any hierarchical relationship within the price list, you will be able to maintain that as well. And if you want to set up any agreements or customer price list or contracts or promotions, the promotion manager is going to be helpful. And for handling your quotation process, QC is helpful for you, and is going to help you get the dynamic pricing from the price builder. And if there is a product that has got a promotion, the quote configurator is going to grab that promotional information and show it during the quotation process. If there is any pricing guidance that you need to show in the quotation process, the quote configurator will be able to grab the information from the price analyzer and also price optimizer. The rebate manager is for management of your off invoice deductions or rebates, and it can handle accruals or payout records and to be sent to the to your ERP system as well. Channel manager is primarily for, again, related to rebate, but it's ship and debit management. Basically, an organization can sell your products on your behalf. Once they sell it, then they come back to you and then claim, and then you pay them. And so the channel manager is going to help that operation, perform validation and then make sure you are not losing money there. That's more or less the features that we have. Tolu. Tolu, are you still there?
Sorry, I was on mute. I have a question from Craig who asks, can you please tell us more about what the price effects solution would look like within an existing SAP CPQ solution?
Okay, so let me show you one thing here, just maybe this one. Price effects, as you can see, we have shown you the names of the modules from, analyzer, optimizer, builder, promotion manager, code configurator, and some, what's that called, rebate manager and channel manager. So those applications are, standalone application, but they can be integrated with external systems. It can be hosted within a CRM as well. So if you are using SAP, let's say you are using C4C for your CRM system, our application can be hosted within that C4C. Hosted means, you are going to go to your C4C, and within an opportunity page, you will be able to inject our application there, and as if you are using one single application. It can be integrated with any intellectual property as well. If you build any property, we will be able to find out a way to get integrated with them. And if you are using an ERP or any code to cash or e-commerce, the price effects can be integrated with any existing systems. So does it answer the question, Tolu? Is it like we should show the server how it looks like?
I think that's it for now, but Craig, if you would like to have a little bit more deeper understanding, you can send it, ask a question in the chat, or you can reply to the emails you've received from us. We have another question. Do you provide any out-of-the-box pricing solutions?
Yeah, in one sense, yes, we do provide out-of-the-box solution, but it still needs to be configured a bit. And let me show you one slide, and that will answer hopefully that question. So we have one out-of-the-box solution. It actually is quote unquote, it's not really out of the box. It's actually, you will have to configure, but the interesting part is you will be up and running, you will be live within 6 weeks. So there are some modules that we have configured already, the price builder, code configurator, and price analyzer. These 3 modules we have configured. We have put some packages within those modules, and then after we talk to the customers and get the data from them, perform some cleansing operation on the data, we'll be able to install the software within 6 weeks. And that's what we call out of the box, and it actually is called by another name. We call it lightning. Lightning offer is like, you are going to get some insights by the price analyzer part, and you are going to get manage your pricing strategies and price list by utilizing your price builder module, and you will be able to have your CPQ solution by our code configurator module.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So if there are not any more questions right now, or you can't think of anything, please be sure to just reach out to us on our social media, or you can reply to any of the emails you received, and I'll have Dr. Kushal Ahmed send you over a reply. So I think this is the part that you've all been waiting for. I will start the poll now. And this time it will be within the actual app. So it should be easier for everyone to be able to join. Just give it a few more seconds to load up. Okay. So the poll is up. And you should be able to answer any of the questions now. So let me know if you have any difficulties, but I don't think we should because this is being answered within the actual app. And then we'll go back to you. So thank you for participating and joining us today. If you have any questions, like I mentioned, please reach out to us on www.priceeffects.com, or you can reply to an email or reach out to us on social media. We hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you to Dr. Kushal Ahmed for taking us through the 3 F's to a smooth, agile remote delivery. And thank you for bearing with us as we face some technical issues with the different polls. It will be a smoother ride next time. Thank you again, and
Thanks, everyone.